What's up guys, thanks for stopping by Drake Valley Outdoors. Today I'm going to be going over my first impressions of the GreenHead Gear ground force blind. I know I'm a little late to the party on this blind since it's been out for so long, but I did want to go over the reasons why I chose this blind as a replacement for my last blind. So let's check it out. Alright, just like with the last blind video, I'm going to take a look at it completely set up, and then I'll show you how it tears down and sets back up, which is where I feel it excels above most of the other full frame blinds. Again, this blind sits about 17 inches high. It is 9 inches wider than the Gander Mountain blind, so it has a larger footprint, but the sides are actually tapered, so it's going to help reduce a lot of those sharp edge shadows, similar to the Cabela's shadow-free blinds. This blind was available in two colors, field khaki and killer weed. I chose the field khaki because once you've got it mudded in and stubbled up, I don't feel like a camo pattern is really going to help you that much. It has adequate stubble straps, 2 down each side, 2 down the doors, 6 across the foot compartment, and 2 across the back. If I wanted to be picky, I would say move them a little closer together and add a 3rd row down the sides. In my opinion, you can never have too many stubble straps. Onto the mesh face shield. Same thing with most blinds. However, GreenHead Gear uses Delrin rods as supports instead of bendable wire. I personally like this more because it keeps the mesh off of your face, and I'm always fidgeting around with that bendable wire. However, some people might like the wire more if they like to sit up higher in the blind and kind of wrap the mesh around their face. GreenHead Gear also made nice long extensions on the back so that whenever you're turning around behind you, your face is still completely covered. Alright, sitting inside, the first notable thing is that it's a lot more roomy. I have a decent sized blind bag, and in my Gander Mountain blind I had to store it behind the seat, which made it really hard to get things out without getting out of the blind. And I've checked, and in this blind my blind bag will sit next to me, so I can keep the area behind the seat open for an extra jacket, or if it gets hot during the day and I need to take a jacket off. There's a zippered flagging slit on each side, and these are different than most blinds because it's oriented vertically as opposed to horizontally, because usually when you're flagging, you're moving your arm up and down, not side to side. On the right hand side, there's a decent sized PVC coated pouch. This is great for shells or snacks or trash or whatever you want to keep in it. There's also a nice dense foam gun rest down at the bottom of the frame. This is nice so that you don't scratch the barrel of your gun. The outer fabric on this blind seems to be secured very well. All around the frame it's secured with Velcro, and the frame that runs through the door actually runs through this channel, so as you're operating the door, the fabric stays in place and it doesn't sag. And that was a big complaint with my Gander Mountain blind, is that as I operated the doors, the fabric would sag, get caught on the edges, and it would tear. I'm hoping this helps the longevity of this blind. Speaking of longevity, around all the points that the blind folds up, they've reinforced the bottom, and I'm hoping that helps prevent holes from developing. The doors have these straps that you can cinch down. I'm not entirely sure of their purpose, but I think it's supposed to put pressure on the doors and help them have a spring effect when opening. I think the padding on the seat is adequate. They definitely have a nice dense foam headrest. There is padding for your butt, but it's a lot less than the Gander Mountain blind, which might be the only point that it would get over this blind. It also has a part of the frame that runs directly underneath the seat, and because of the way the blind folds up, there can't be a lot of padding along here, so this might be a comfort issue for some. If you're sitting in the blind as you're intended to, this shouldn't be an issue. The quality of the frame seems very nice and sturdy. The coating seems fairly decent as well. I did find a couple spots down on each of the doors where the coating had came off and began to rust. I can probably clean this up and hit it with a little bit of flat black paint, but I don't feel like this is something that should be happening right out of the box. There's one more feature of this blind that I want to show you, and it's by far my favorite. The way this blind sets up and tears down is easily one of the simplest designs I've seen. Out of the box, you have to screw in one end of each door, but after that you never have to do it again. Let me just show you how simple this sets up and tears down. Alright, so to tear down this blind, open the doors, unzip the slit in the door, release the slide lock, zip it back up so you don't get any dirt in it, I like that they added these zippered slits. Makes for easy access. And on these slide locks, there is no button that you need to depress. Sometimes they're a little stiff if it's in a bind. Let me shut this door. I wasn't supposed to. Last thing you have to do is release the headrest frame. And this is kind of a little tricky just because it gets hung up on the fabric every now and then. But it's really not that bad. Fold it up. Fold this last end over. Clip your straps. And you're ready to get out of the field. Now it is a little bit wider and a little fatter than the Gander Mountain blind once it's tore down, but it'll still easily fit in a trunk. All right, so to set this thing back up, undo your straps, unfold the blind, open your doors, and then put your headrest back up. So now you just have to work side to side on this. I have a feeling once you've gotten this thing worked in a little bit, that'll be a little bit easier. Open your slit, lock the fold points on the door, and then you're set up. Alright guys, thanks for checking out my first impressions video of this GreenHead Gear ground force blind. Since it is a first impressions video, I'm not going to be giving it a rating or a recommendation, but I can tell you that I'm very excited to use it next season and check back in the off season for my post-season thoughts and whether it met my expectations or not. Thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't, but comment below, let me know why you didn't like the video and how I can improve. Subscribe if you guys want to see more in-depth product reviews in the future. I plan to be posting new content weekly or more often if I'm able to. Later guys.